prominent conversation among the county leaderships that the governors will report having established a lot of brick and mortar and tarmac, and that is supposed to be perceived as development by the people. However, the impact of this establishment of these structures does not outrightly translate to development of the people themselves. I ask this because you look at your county, the Bungoma County, 80 to 90% of your own source revenue comes from the health fees. So people would argue the people are kept sick to sustain the county government, in a manner of speaking. And if in 13 years we have developing the health facilities, that should translate to development of health of the people. I think it would be in your interest to have less people coming to the hospitals, it's fine, because that would mean the few hospitals that are there would optimally function. So perhaps having that in mind, that it is not just about tarmac and concrete, it's about the people. What would you advise or suggest for the county leadership to start devising mechanisms that will just develop the people? Because if the wage bill, like you say, 17 billion comes, 70% goes to the recurrent expenditure, 5% is left for development, and maybe half of that goes to brick and concrete. So the people really do not experience the development that they deserve.
You know, they are related in a manner. And Bungoma has a high population. We're talking about now maybe 1.7, 1.8. And people will fall sick anyway. That is a fact. That's why we're addressing, when I say they're interrelated, for example, we are now providing clean water. The percentage has increased from the time we took over. It's now about 40-something. When we took over, it was about 28%. Now we are at about 47% coverage of clean water, thanks to our partners like Koreans, who have also brought water. Because once we address the waterborne diseases, then again that will reduce the number of people that will go to hospital, for typhoid and the psych-related whatever. When we also talk about, for example, food security, because when I went there, again, I was one of the first governors to start a subsidy, which has been running, that we give inputs, fertilizer, free fertilizer, and seeds to the vulnerable groups, just to ensure that we have food security. Because again, when you have people malnourished, people not having enough food, again, that can contribute to a lot of this sickness that we're talking about, and people going to hospital. So we all these things, you cannot isolate them, because if you are doing a road, then it will be able to transport the food from, say, Mount Kapsokony to Kimilili and other parts of the whatever. Then you're talking about the water, you're talking about the environment, you're talking about what. So generally, when that happens, then we're talking about the development of the people.
Okay. So the true development is measured